Hello everyone, Warren here again with the Peach State Prime Transformers channel, and have kind of a sad video today, slash public service announcement for everybody. So, I was going to make a video, a retro review on one of my favorite Beast Wars figures, original Beast Wars figures, and that is Transmetal Megatron. Not Transmetal 2 Megatron, but the gold and purple Tyrannosaurus Rex original Transmetal Megatron. This figure is known for having severe suffering due to DGS, or Diminished Gold Syndrome. And breaking in people's hands. I'm here to attest that if you have this figure, do not mess with it. So when I first started getting ready for this video, the figure was in one piece. It is no longer in one piece. And I'm gonna show you where it ended up, and, again, to give you advice to not do what I just did. So, please join me as we attempt to take a look at Transmetal Beast Wars Megatron. And here is what's left of my Transmetal Megatron. So what I was doing was I was just trying to reposition him a bit to show him off on camera. He's been sitting on my shelf in robot mode for years. As I was handling him, this arm, and what's funny, it wasn't even in the gold part of the plastic, so I guess this darker plastic is also impacted. But his arm completely snapped off. You can see the pin here, and I'll do a 360 here in a minute. And then, probably even worse, was his head snapped clean off. You can see the break there. So not great. The thing that was scaring me most while looking at it was this arm here. Here, let me go ahead and turn it a little. Was this arm, this forearm, was super stiff. Like, I could not bend it one way or another. And it was actually at that point that I stopped fiddling with it and was starting to put it all down when the two breaks occurred. For those not familiar with the figure, the tail was always an accessory he would hold. And, of course, it would snap in T-Rex mode. But it's a real bummer, because this is a beautiful toy. For some reason, Hasbro has not opted to make an updated version. Preferably one with the modern gold coloring in the plastic, versus, this swirly mess of doom. And I'll be honest, as much as I've heard about DGS over the years, or certain figures being extra brittle for whatever reason, whatever materials were used, I never really fell victim to it. And, somewhat to where it even started to seem like a, I don't want to say a hoax, but something that was, kind of played up more, and it's like, oh, yeah, right, I'll believe it when I see it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's real. If you ever hear about certain molds being in, bad shape over the years, or certain figures, just do yourself a favor and leave them on the shelf. The other one I have, and I'm not going to bring it out right now because I'm scared to touch it at the moment, is Beast Wars Grimlock, the white and gold repaint of Beast Wars Dinobot. Not going to be messing with that right now. Now, the thing that really gets me about this is, I have G1 figures that are frankly older than I am. Again, I was born in October of 1984, so Transformers were in full swing before I was even on this earth. And, since then I've purchased, some of those toys, and I can pick them up, fiddle with them, transform them. And yeah, I've just kind of left this out here. And they have not broken on me. I know some of the toy stores around here are, a little worried. They don't want you transforming anything G1 before you purchase it. Again, I've never had a G1 figure crumble in my hands. I'm sure it's happened. But this figure from the 90s is what fell apart on me. Just to point out some of the highlights of the figure. So one of the things I've always really liked about it is it's fakery, where the T-Rex head is actually in the back. But, in the show and in the show design, because, again, this figure is super show accurate. This is supposed to be the T-Rex head, and frankly, it looks great how they pulled it off, and it's even a little purplish here, not just plain black. You can kind of see it in the light there, so I've always thought that was cool. One thing that was always a little hokey, but I still liked it. It was a hallmark of the Transmetal line, was, if you ever forget who this was, his name's right there. He's wearing a name tag, Megatron. So definitely a product of its time. So kind of my plans for this figure now, I may see if I could get it into some sort of reasonable pose and maybe, just take some super glue to the head and the arm. It'll never be able to transform, but frankly, it can't transform anyways. So at least I could have that, kind of that keepsake on my shelf still. So that's going to be kind of my plan going forward with this figure. Now, there is one silver lining in all this, is that while that was my loose copy and my original copy of the Transmetal Megatron mold, I do have a second one in the box. So I still have a pristine copy of this mold. You're getting a little glare on the window there. Now, the saving grace, why I even have this figure, I did buy it new from Walmart not Walmart, Toys R Us back in the day. I actually bought it in 1998. While I was at BotCon, there was a Walmart close by, and the reason why I went and bought it was because David Kaye, the voice of Beast Wars Megatron, was in attendance at that convention. And actually, wait, was it 90? No, it was BotCon 97, 1997. And it was the one in Anaheim, California, the first time. I don't remember if it's been back out there. But I believe that was BotCon 97. Oh, goodness, my brain's not working anymore. But anyways, I did get him to sign it. I know a lot of signatures from voice actors, usually get across the window. He actually signed it right down here, at the bottom. I was young and didn't really respect the, autograph times, and it was before there was a script reading going on that evening, and had this with me, ran up real quick before he took the stage and had him sign it. So I still have that, and at least this way, I still have him in T-Rex mode. You have the cool Transmetal packaging. I always liked how this was nice and shiny over here. And my favorite color is orange, so I like the Beast Wars logo in orange versus the classic green. Over here you have that side art. And one thing that's even more retro right now is I got this Toys R Us price tag still on it. And it was $14.99 when it came out. Yes, we could all cry together about, how much cheaper things used to be in the 90s. This is a sealed toy over time. The Scotch tape, has separated, but it's never been removed or even slid out of the box. Back here you have the collector's card with his stats. However, I do disagree. Beast Wars Megatron was one of the most intelligent characters out there, so I would have bumped that 9 up to a 10. I mean, you see some of his plans out there as the series progressed, and love it or hate it, even in the Beast Machines. Definitely an intelligent character. But anyways, the transformation was pretty simple. It talks about it here. It's almost at that advanced stage. We don't have ratings like that anymore, but, it was simple when it wouldn't, fall apart in your hand. Then you got his bio here. You got that same artwork on the other side. You have the view from the top here, where it says he's a turbine-powered T-Rex, organically enhanced robot commander. And this is when, Hasbro was still going back to that Kenner branding for Transformers. Up underneath the box, you have, of course, cross-promotion for some of the other Beast Wars toys at the time. Of course, being, Transmetals. You got Cheetor, Waspinator, which was always a cool toy. It's a shame it was never in the show. Rhinox, Tarantulas, Optimus Primal, and of course, Megatron himself. Oh, and then we have some different selling points on the bottom. Metallicized T-Rex becomes Predacon Commander Robot. Turbine VTOL vertical takeoff and landing engines in vehicle mode. Whiplash tail with power pincher. You almost think, why even bother putting VTOL, the abbreviation, and just not spell it out the first time when it never appears anywhere else on the box or anything. So, again, very fortunate of, for having this one still in the box. Again, it's a solid toy. Bringing back the corpse of my loose one. You even had little details. I mean, again, the, metallic finish on these was just awesome. But it was nice. The turbines would even spin. You have the T-Rex head. The T-Rex would open his mouth. And looks great. Of course, showed off some of the other details. Again, I can't really transform this guy now, but you would have, and I'm not even going to pull it out, but these would flop out and become roller skates for the T-Rex mode. And it was more like landing gear, because again, with these vertical takeoff and landing engines, as you know from the show, he could fly in his T-Rex mode, which was awesome. So this was kind of like landing gear. I know I called them roller skates, but that's really what it was. And this guy could pull off some pretty cool poses, back in the day. Guess I could always consider making him like a zombie version or something. I don't know. I'm not a great kit basher. And of course, this was his tail accessory. It was even posable, and very much like the show, it was able to rotate and turn different ways. Then he had that pincher here, which I don't want to open and close too much. And, it would clip into the dinosaur mode here on the back. And then, he would just hold it. The original Beast Wars Megatron having a tail for one hand and, excuse me, and his T-Rex head for the other. That was the other thing I really liked about this Megatron, was that, he had two hands, and he had the option of making one kind of a tail hand. Not really going to do any comparisons because, you know, anything's going to knock that out of the park right now. But again, more of a PSA. At least I was able to show off my inbox one. And I know it's hard doing a review of a figure that's in box. Because, you know, you can only show it from the outside. You can't show it in the other modes or anything. But again, still wanted to make this video to, you know, kind of an homage to my now fallen Beast Wars Transmetal Megatron, and also a PSA that if you haven't messed with it, don't mess with it. If there's any other figures you own that, and I know I'm repeating myself, but there's any other figures you own that are known for having issues as they've aged, leave them alone. Just don't even transform them. Whatever mode they're in, that's the mode they're stasis locked in, and you know, that's what you know, how they're going to be displayed forevermore, unless you want a you know, a pile of pieces like I now have. So anyways, that is Transmetal Megatron. So once again, you know, thank you for watching this video. A little bit different, a little bit more of a solemn video here. But anyways, hope you still enjoyed watching it. If you did, please give it a like here on YouTube. Of course, subscribe for more Transformers videos. And of course, leave a comment. You know, have you had a toy that is disintegrated in your hands, like Beast Wars Transmetal Megatron or something else? You know, feel free to leave a comment. You know, I'm trying to think what else there is to say at this point, but if you like travel videos, I do have the Peach State Prime Southern Travel channel, and hope, you know, feel free to check that out if you like seeing things like unique stores, some restaurants, attractions, things like that, in and around Atlanta and the rest of the South. Anyways, again, my name's Warren. Hope you have a great day. Thank you for watching, and God bless.